guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tracy and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Central Victoria, Australia. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please hit subscribe, and I also want to let you know in the description of this video I have a link to sign up for my emails. So if you're not already getting my emails, please do that as well. I have tons of inspiration, lots of updates, and also a tutorial every single month just for being part of my subscriber list. So today's video is a bit of a fun one. I'm actually creating a project for a friend. It is a birthday gift. Let me show you the birthday gift that I got, and it's only one of the presents, but these are dangle earrings from an Australian company. They're 𝐏𝐷𝐿, which is an Australian bird, and I'm going to create a little box to house them in, or house them in. Let's house them in. I'm so excited to be showing you this. Let's get started. All the supplies I'm using for today's project can be seen on the screen, but head over to my blog where all the supplies and measurements are listed over there as well. I did make a prototype for this project because I wanted to make sure that my dangle earrings fit in perfectly. Now these dangle earrings are an Australian company called Wood with Words, and these are 𝐶𝐿 earrings, which are absolutely gorgeous. So the earrings actually measure 2 1/8 by 3 3/4, so I wanted the box to fit them in perfectly, and the finished box project actually measures 3 by 4.5 inches. Okay, so we're starting off with Blackberry Bliss cardstock. This measures 6.5 by 8 inches, and like I said before, all the measurements are over my blog, so don't worry about writing these down. And we're going to score on all 4 sides a couple of measurements. The first one is 3/8, and I've done that on all 4 sides on the right hand side with my paper trimmer just to make it easier, because it's a little bit harder to do it on the left hand side. So all four sides are scored at 3/8 of an inch, 7/8 of an inch, 1 1/4 and 1 3/4. So all the way around. Then we're going to score on the 6.5 inch side. I'm bringing it back in here to create our little tab that puts the box together. So we're only going to score down to that second score line there, and we're going to do that at 2 1/8 and 4 3/8, and we're going to do that at the top and bottom, so the first 2 score lines, top and bottom, and that will create our little tab that makes the box go all together perfectly. So we have all our score lines there. I'm going to bring my bone folder in and use the bone folder to make crisp lines. This helps the box to go together really well, and I highly recommend, if you're making boxes, use a bone folder because it just makes light work. So we're scoring on all of those sides. There is a little bit of cutting, and if you check over on my blog, I have a template there for you to show you what parts are getting cut off and what we're keeping with. This is a little bit of a fairly detailed project, so you really are going to have to make close attention of what you're doing. So that's that first score line that we created. I've gone down to the second score line. We're going to make a diagonal cut to the next score line, and then we're going to chop all the way up to that 4th score line. We're scoring up that next one, and we're taking off that huge block there. So like I said, we're getting rid of quite a bit of cardstock. And then this one here is going to be our tab, so I'm just taking that off a little bit further up than the score line, and we'll eventually come in and miter cut those tabs as well. So we're doing the same for the other side, so up to that second score line, making that diagonal cut all the way up, the next one all the way up, and then we're taking off that full box there. And here we go, we're going to just miter cut on each of those lines. So we're going to do the same with the other side. Now this box actually does come together really quite well. I'm really happy with how it turned out, especially when I only made one prototype. Sometimes boxes can be a little bit hard to put together. So we're using the ice cream corner suite, from the mini catalogue. That is in the Stampin' Up mini catalogue. Absolutely gorgeous products and perfect to make birthday cards and projects, and I think it really turned out well. So that's our finished box project. So I'm going to just go in and miter cut on all those tabs, and there's quite a few. So you're going to do a few little cuts. This actually helps to make the box go together and take away a little bit of that bulk as well. We're using tear and tape to pop this box together, and as you'll see in a little while, it's not very forgiving, so you've got to be really careful with when you're popping it together. But it is really good. It holds it nice and sturdy as well. I think you could probably use liquid adhesive as well. So we're going to add the tear and tape on the two ends here on both sides, and we're going to put those ones together first, and then the two other sides will go in. Now I probably should have added a little tear and tape to the tab, and you'll see this in a minute where I actually use glue dots because it wasn't quite sturdy enough. So you really do need that extra support. So what you're doing is you're folding it down onto that score line and folding it over, and it actually makes it really sturdy. So we're taking the tape off, being really careful to get it in place, and then just folding it over, and then it sits in place. So that one was perfect. This one, not so much, but it is easily fixed. You've just got to be really gentle when you're using tear and tape, and don't push down too hard, so you can be able to lift it up if you need to. I will say I was stressing at this point. I did get it up okay. There we go. And just rolling it over and popping it into place. We're going to pop the tabs in, and then rolling this one over the same way, and it folds over those two sides that we've just popped down. Really beautiful box when it comes together. So there is a little bit of give where the two smaller tabs have come over. So I'm just going to pop a couple of glue dots in between just to give that extra stability and adhesion. To decorate the box, I've used the Ice Cream Corner suite from the mini catalogue, and you can find that on page 48-49. And this is a really great suite to use for birthdays. The Ice Cream Corner DSP has some really great patterns, and it's beautiful colourings as well. Now I've used that DSP for the belly band, and I think if I was to create this project again, I would probably use cardstock and then just cover it with the designer series paper. Sending it overseas just with a belly band of DSP was probably not the best idea I had, but I think the cardstock would have held up a lot better. So we've also used the designer series paper to fussy cut and create a really great image for the front of the box as well. So you can see I'm just fiddling around with the glue dots. I finally get there, and it just gives it that extra strength. So I have a piece of the designer series paper, and it measures 6.5 inches by 8 inches. And one tip I'll give you is I don't like to score around my box. I find it easier to wrap the belly band around, pinch on the sides, and then you can score that part. Now, as you're wrapping it around, you need to make sure that you're not making it too tight. You want it to be able to come on and off without any problems, but you don't want it too loose as well. So you can see I've just wrapped it around. I'm pinching the sides to get those points that I want, and then I'm just bringing in and using my finger. You don't need a bone folder for this because it is DSP, and DSP can tear depending on how thick it is. Perfect, works perfectly. So we're going to use tear and tape to pop this together as well. Now if you're in need of any of the supplies I've used for today's project, you can purchase them in my online store. Use this month's hostess code and I'll send you out a handmade card, which is our customer appreciation card for this month, as well as a bundle tutorial, which is really great value, full of heaps of inspiration for you as well. So I've actually put tear and tape on both sides just to make sure that it didn't come apart. Tear and tape is really strong, and it probably wouldn't have, but sending it overseas I was a little bit worried to make sure that it got there in decent nick. Okay, so it slips in and out really easily. I do actually end up putting a little bit of repositional tape on the back of those dangle earrings just so it didn't go anywhere when it was opened up. So we've got the Blackberry Bliss striped ribbon. This is also from that suite, the Ice Cream Corner suite. It is so soft. It doesn't look very soft, but it's really, really soft and perfect to make bows. I've just created a knot there for the front. So we have the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I'm actually just winging this video as I go. I end up going back and doing a little bit of fussy cutting with those ice creams there in that DSP. So this is the Label Me Lovely punch, and I always have to look at that because there is a few lovely punches there. And I'm using a retired circle punch there as well. That is the 1 3/4, but you could definitely use your dies, your circle dies, layering circles. So I've grabbed one of those designer series paper ice cream cones, and I'm just quickly fussy cutting that. So we have Blackberry Bliss with the Label Me Lovely and Bermuda Bay for that circle punch. And I'm going to use that stamp set to create some little sprinkles in the background. It just looked a little bit too plain, leaving it just plain Bermuda Bay. So there's actually 2 sprinkle stamps in that stamp set. And I'm using that one there. So there's a dot one and then a sprinkles. So we're just going to layer these 2 together. And we're almost done. So it's not a project without some dimensionals, so I'm going to bring them in and pop up both the layers of punches as well as that fussy cut piece. So this designer series paper has quite a few colours in it. Let me tell you, it's got terracotta tile, old olive, Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss and cinnamon cider. So you could definitely change these colours around to create a different themed box or different coloured box as well. So I'm making sure that I've got enough little mini dimensionals there on that ice cream to make sure it's very well supported. And I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals as well. Why not? I hope this video inspires you to create your own gift packaging. You can take the smallest gift and make a really wonderful, thoughtful gift for someone just by creating your own packaging. And you don't have to do something so elaborate as a shadow box. You could make just a box or a bag. Anything would make a really nice little gift packaging. This is the final product. It's so cute. Shadow box turned out really well. And I've used the Ice Cream Corner suite from the mini catalogue. So hopefully you've enjoyed this project. If you have, please give me a like, comment and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget those emails, guys. I would love to have you on my email list. Alright everyone, I'll be back with another video really soon, so hopefully you can come back for that. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Are you hearing my words? I'm saying